Now, you 13, you with your aunt, and you in Madisonville for
Yeah.
sure now. You going to People's, and you end up graduating.
Nah, no. Matter of fact, I went to Bramble. You know what I'm saying? That's where it all
Okay.
started. I went to Bramble Elementary.
Okay.
And from Bramble, I went to Peoples. From Peoples, I went to Withrow. Well,
Okay.
from Bramble, I went to Dater. From Dater, I went to Peoples. From Peoples, I went to Withrow.
So you now in high school, you at Withrow. What were you in any sports, anything like that, or?
Uh, nah, not for real. I tried out for a little bit of football, man, but they had some hitters at that time on the team. Like my homeboy Buck, rest up Buck, you know what I'm saying? My cousin Chris, Big Chris, and then my man Big Talmadge. Them guys at that time back then, if everybody know, if they went to the road, they know them guys was wrecking stuff like. And we played in my hood in Madisonville. We used to play the guys from up in Marymount. And I got hit one time, like,
Took the wind out of you.
oh yeah, I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? Cause I got racked and we playing with no equipment. So I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me. But at that time I was in the streets too. So
Okay. So
yeah,
so what? How old you say you were when you actually jumped off the porch and was getting into the streets?
shit, probably about 13. Like
So
right
right
after.
when when your
Yeah,
mom
I was in them a little bit before she passed though. Like I wasn't doing nothing. I mean, I wasn't selling nothing, but when you say in the streets, you got everything that come with it. Like for instance, I used to steal my mama weed and go and smoke it with my friends. That's how it all started. Like steal a little bit of weed, go smoke it with my friends. We doing stuff we ain't supposed to do. We cursing. We going in the store, stealing Star Crunches and all that type stuff. You know, back then.
Yeah.
And that's the beginning. That's the nail in beginning right there.
Yeah. So did you graduate from Withrow?
Nope, I ended up getting a GED. I dropped out of Withrow in the 10th grade.
What made you want to drop out? What was going on?
Money. What this song about? Addicted.
Say you had got a part of the street life.
Yeah.
So you was just kind of like, I'm cool on this. I know I can get some money, and that's what I'm about to focus on.
Yeah, like at the time, the guys in my hood, you know what I mean? Shout out to all of them, even the ones I don't like. Shout out to all of them, you know what I'm saying? At the time, the guys that was out there was putting on, you know what I'm saying? And we used to walk to the store called Stitches or Meninios or even Bramble. You walk to the store, you're going to see some guys down there that's fly. They doing good, you know what I'm saying? And shit. My feet was stinking and all that. I'm walking in bullshit clothes and all that. You know, my mama ain't here. So, you know, not saying, you know, but somebody always has somebody. But when you wearing duck head pants and, you know what I'm saying? You wearing, man, I remember all the yard sales. My aunt used to yard sale, you know what I'm saying? So she used to go buy a little yard sale stuff. And, you know, and I had a cousin, which was her son.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's my aunt, but she favored her son. You know what I'm saying? So he come in with Guess outfits and things like that. And I know she really couldn't afford it, even though I was getting an SSI check. I know she really couldn't afford it or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because it was, you know, things was going on. So, shit, man, I end up like, man, fuck this, man. You know, man, I gotta get what I need. You know what I'm saying? So when it came, I wanted to be fresh. I wanted to be, you know, lit. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, you know, we wearing baggy jeans and shit. You know, it's coins going on. You know, they got 2-for-1s and man, I got to get money, man. I got out there on that lineup and went crazy.
What was your aunt's take on it when she realized like you're not going to school no more, you outside in the streets? What was her take on things? Did she kind of just let you go and do what you had to do, or was she trying to still direct you back on that right path?
Oh, my aunt, she was more so, she was there. She was there. I can't say she wasn't there. She was there. Yeah, my aunt was there. My Aunt Willa Mae was there. My Uncle Andrew, which was her husband, he was a cool father figure, but she really didn't find out till, you know, I really caught a case. Like,
Also, so how did she think you was? She thought you was at work or something, or?
nah. Like I did things a little different, probably a whole lot different. Like, God, I don't know, but I did things different. Like me, I'm going outside. I'm getting it on school hours. I'm in the house when the lights come on, but I'm getting it on. I'm putting my money up. So, you know, at that time, I'm like, shoot, I made whatever I made today. I'm going in the house. You know what I'm saying? I go in the house, you know, but I smoke weed and stuff now. She did not like that. And that's kind of, I think, how she knew that I was out in the streets like that. Because now I done got kind of arrogant with my smoking and my ways. So
Got you. Yeah.
you know, I'm out here smoking weed.
She didn't get a call from the school that you was missing all these days?
She actually did get a call from the school. She got called from the school, I'm pretty sure, plenty of times. And she used to always try to get me to go around to the church and things like that and everything. But like I said, I wasn't having. You know, back then it was big. I couldn't afford a starter coat. You know what I'm saying? And that was my influence. I wasn't having.
Yeah.
And when you broke, you like, look, man, I ain't finna go to school, funky feet.
Yeah.
You know, back then we had the little clear cookies in the pack. I couldn't buy no cookies. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do much.
And you ain't got your dad or your mom.
Nah. So
you have neither at this point, so it's harder.
And there's 6 of us in this house that I'm at.
Wow.
It's 6. As a matter of fact, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 6 people in this house, and then family members coming over to sleep too after that.
Damn. Say it's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on.
So when did music start playing a part with everything for you? When you know you're not in school anymore. What was your first time you start realizing, like, man, I like rap and I can get into this?
I was young. I remember it was a group called The Boys back in the day. They had a song called "Dial My Heart," right? Mm-hmm. So my aunt Willa Mae had bought us these microphones. They used to stand up and you could sing into them. They had a little stand. It was a microphone thing, and we be singing our hearts out on that thing. I'm talking about I'm singing. At that time, I could sing. At that time. But I was always into music. Now with the rap thing, I don't know. I always liked the music. Matter of fact, I can tell you when it came. Matter of fact, my mama, when she was alive, this dude that used to kick her ass, he used to always bring me, he did look out for me, bring me like CDs and stuff.
Okay.
The first CDs I got was NWA and Too Short. Life is Too Short.
Wow.
And
that's a throwback for you right
throwback,
there.
You hear me? So, you know, I'm singing my songs and everything. I'm walking down the stairs because then we had the little CD players, you know what I'm saying? The little whatever, you know, I got the little CD player. I'm listening to the CD player. I'm walking through the house. You know, say ho, yeah, you. Can I ask you a question? You like the fuck? Mama like, wow, hit me on my lip and take my music and everything. So I was turned on ever since then. I just like hip hop. And then around the time, you know, when Doggy Style came out, Dr. Dre, The Chronic, you know, we outside. Them was the summers. You come outside, everybody, I'm all out in Moosewood, Millville, because I got a big family. So I'm all over the city. That's when the city lit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the, you know, you seeing diapers and everything in the hood. You seeing people running around getting money or whatever, but it was fun. Barbecue smells and all that, you know. And hip hop influenced that to me. Because you heard that when you came outside. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I started doing my little 1-2s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, with you being like in the streets full time, did you decide to maybe like start messing with the music a little bit then, or you was just strictly focused on the streets?
I wouldn't say the streets. I was focused on the hustle.
Right.
Because I had a job too.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, yeah, I used to work too. I ain't want to sit up. Yeah, I kept a job. And, you know, I get out here and get it. I always knew I needed a backup plan. Like, when it came to, if you blow all this money over here, shoot, you better have something to, you know, because back then I wasn't never looking for handouts. Back then, so.
And you really didn't have nowhere to go for them either with, like you said, with not having your mom and your dad, where, you know, for somebody that can say, well, if I don't be on my stuff, I can kind of lean on my mom or lean on my dad.
Wasn't no leaning.
Yeah.
I was the one, even back then, that was getting leaned on, like, you know, because I always was getting to some chicken. Like, you know, I wasn't rich, but I was always I always held my own down. And
you take care of yourself.
Yeah, and so whoever was around me, if I love you like a brother, I want for you like I want for myself. You know what I'm saying? So I always helped my bros out. And, you know, when I had them, you know what I'm saying, ain't many around, I roll dolo. You know what I mean? Wherever I go, you know, I got a couple of guys. Shout out to my man Sax. You know what I'm saying? SD Sax, you know. That's my family right there. And all the rest of the 5900. You know what I'm saying? They know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My Dub side family, my TNO family, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, they people know what's going on, you know what I mean? If you're from the Ville, man, y'all know what's going on, man. Big Nine love, you know what I'm saying?
Now, how old was you when you first got in the studio, though? How old was you when you first got in the studio?
My first time getting in the studio, man, I think I was 20 something. My first person I got in the studio with was Tight.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Tight. That was the first time I ever went to the studio. The second time I went was with his brother, Magnif.
Wow. So you was getting. That's when you first started like getting in the studio faithfully. Per
Yeah,
se.
yeah. Seeing what at that time when I got in the studio, matter of fact, Young Butter was fucking it up at the time. He was fucking it up. Matter of fact, I want to say he was kind of into it with B Luck and them, and I'm talking about he was fucking. He got bars, but the boy got bars, and I'm like, damn, like they was doing. He did that Ether thing, and it's crazy because I'm like, I was in the studio that day when he finished that track, and that was my first time being in the studio.
Wow.
So you know what I'm saying. Yeah, you know, back then it was going down. You had who was it, KID or the Guap Boys and all them back then.
Yeah, so this is the time when you first.
That's when I first get in the studio. And
all right, so you at the studio with Magnif and everything like that, and Tight, and you recording and you watching all these other artists and stuff too. They coming through, they dropping fire. Were you getting video shot at this time and really promoting singles, putting out projects as well?
At the time, I was with a group called Poloville. It was a group, you know, it's really my guys. They the guys. And back then, I'm like, hey, man, I'm from Madisonville. Back then, Madisonville was known for, you know, we wore all the polo shirts. Everybody in there was a signature. We stayed in polo.
Okay.
So, you know, I had, you know, suggested the name Poloville to the group, and we came up with that name. So at that time, I'm putting out music with them. Now, of course, I had like underground stuff that I was putting out. I was putting out myself as well. So I can't say underground, but stuff I was putting out. I was recording the music, putting it on a computer.
Wow.
Jumping it on a CD and just getting out here and handing it out. I wasn't really like too serious. It was more so like, hey man, here it is, man. I think I'm hard.
Got you.
You know, I think I'm hard. I think I got this, man. You know, and I'm just handing out music. But at the time, I was just having fun.
You was having fun with it. You weren't really taking it as serious.
Nah, not as serious as I'm taking it now.
Got you.
Back then, I was just having fun.
Got you for sure.